Morning everyone, welcome to our day trading setup session on today, March 2nd, 2022. At day 3 here of uncertainty with the markets. Basically everything's been going back and forth in about the same daily range. So looking for an opportunity here to find where we're going to be breaking out at and see what direction things are going to be going. So let's take a look at Forex Factory real quick just to see what we have on the calendar for today. OPEC meetings. So this usually means that there will be uncertainty in oil prices today, and the problem with these is they go on for a day, or let's see if they're going on into, no, they're not, just today. So the problem is you don't know when any news is going to come out, so just be very cautious of that. Make sure that you don't have any small time frame trades on, really, because price can just blow through those if anything comes out of that. We did have, okay, this is interesting. We usually ADP non-farm employment usually comes out at 8:30. It was released at 8:17 today. That's a very positive thing, right? A lot more jobs created than what they thought. We've got Canadian dollar at 10, and then of course Federal Chairman Powell will be testifying at 10 as well. When he testifies like that, it's labeled as red, but honestly there hasn't been a lot of significant movement from those individual events. He can sometimes drive the markets, over like a day time frame from that, but not necessarily just directly from during that specific time frame there. Just heads up though, so we got the same thing again tomorrow. He'll be testifying at 10, so just keep that in mind. And then Friday, of course, we have our unemployment rate and then non-farm employment change as well. So a couple big things coming up this week. Hopefully that will help give some level of certainty to what direction the market's actually going to go now. So let's go ahead and take a look at our dollar and see where we're going here. Just a note, right, this is still overall uptrend. We are still coming up from this 45-minute zone right here, and just continuing to move up there. Actually, I've got a couple of really interesting areas here as well. So we're continuing to create new zones here, and we've got one picture perfect zone with the second leg out being much longer than the first one. So we'll bring this down in. Yeah, you really got this area right here. Go ahead and mark this one off. We don't trade the dollar. This is just to get an idea of where it's going to go, what's going to drive it, and in particular this gives us other correlations for trading other currencies, in particular the euro. That being said, if you keep going down further, so you've almost got the same thing here, but it's not really a picture perfect zone, so we'll just draw this one in right here. Pretty good look left on this one. Pretty good formation, zone formation as well there. Let's see, on any bigger picture time frame, anything changing here? We've already got those 45s are better, a little bit better picture than the now. So here's another look at that same area, but on a 60-minute chart, and this might actually give us a little bit more clarity as to what's going to happen here. So in this case, right, you got your picture perfect zone, but the top zone's the one that's significantly shorter coming in. So this really here is your zone. 96 to 96.88, and then what we'll see here is when I bring this one down and compare it to that 45, right, you've got the 96 So it actually 96 really is the lower zone here is what it's showing in comparison to where the 60-minute one is. So I'll probably use both of them, honestly, because you'll probably get a bounce out of the first one. So we're looking when we get to the euro and the euro USD forex pair. We'll take a look at that and see what we got between the 45 and the 60-minute charts there. Moving on to VIX. All right, so volatility keeps moving up, trying to get back to that significant spike coming in from over the weekend. And daily chart would just still, we got the same channel up here. Trying to see if there's anything that we can really use to take advantage of this. And the only thing we've got right here on a 60-minute chart is, and you've got this area right here. So I guess if price drops down into here, you could potentially see a move up. I would be a little hesitant about this one overall. Just honestly, just not really. There's not been a whole lot of movement away from it. It did take out this pivot left, so technically speaking, it does follow the rules. So we'll just label that as an area to watch. Watch as price comes in there and see if there's any corresponding zones in our index markets that we could potentially take advantage of there. So just jumping over to the Euro USD Forex pair. I'll start on the 60 to see if I've got, I really don't. Looking at this 6-minute chart, see if we've got anything that's corresponds to that area right in here for the dollar. And I mean, this is it. This is the area right here. It'd be this zone, but man, that's not a pretty zone. So because we've got a opposing correlation for it, I'll mark it as an area to watch, but I would have to see something else going on in there before I would be willing to take anything in that area. Yeah, it's a little too messy. So looking at our S&P 500, we are dropping right down out of this 30-minute zone that I had put up yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do any stream yesterday because of preparation we're doing for selling our house right now. But did draw this one up yesterday while I was looking at things a little bit later on. And so we're dropping right back down out of this area here. Target for this one now. Interestingly enough, I did draw this zone in particular because the upper zone really is the one that we should be using, because the leg out of this PPZ, second leg out the PPZ here, is the one that's much longer. So, but this one over here just had so much going for it, right? So much correlation. It had the right zone location. All of our look left worked out very well, and there is still a lot of weakness in the market. So this one changes up a little bit, and we'll take both zones instead of just the one. As you can see, it's working out pretty well so far. That being said, so we do know price is at least going to come down somewhat from here, but I don't see anything else on like a 5-minute or lower that we could take advantage of. And still just a little too hesitant to try and get long on this right now. I'm just not seeing where that's coming from. The only place that we've got any indications of a long is on our RTY. So we'll take a look at that when we get over to it and just see if there's anything, a smaller time frame there outside of that daily zone that we could we could use. NASDAQ futures, we've got that same area on a 30-minute chart is working as well. The area isn't nearly as nice as the other one is on the ES. So yeah, just this uncertainty is really just, it's not creating good solid supply and demand zones right now. Starting to create more of these consolidation areas here. Not sure what I was looking for on this one. Where did I see this? Yeah, just, man. And if it's this hard to find anything, you typically don't push it too far. Now, looking on a 240-minute chart just to see if we can figure anything out from a trend perspective, we really are going to have to break this line right here before we can even say that there's even a neutral trend on this. So that's what's kind of causing some of these issues, right? That's a 1,200 point move or 1,300 point move there that would have to happen. So just making this a little bit hard to really get in anything long term. So we'll keep the very short term trades for right now and just look for getting in, good solid zones and then getting out quickly and taking the money and running with it for now. So RTY, so we did have, so we came out of that previously used zone on the daily chart, and look, we went right up overnight into this other area, and prices are responding to it just, sorry, not overnight, yesterday. And prices responding to this one very well now. We had it marked as just to monitor it because it wasn't, we didn't get the close below this candle, but with this overall downtrend, anything that continues on that same trend, you can certainly take with a little bit lower risk profile there. But that would be why prices are coming back down again. So we'll look for other areas to get short on here then, instead of continuing to think this is going to go long. We do have this area right here. So this is a picture perfect zone, right? Drop, base, rally, 2 base candles, and another longer rally out. We only have 1 candle out, but it did take out the one to the left. This is protected. We should come down further into this zone because it's a longer one. So I'm going to mark this one right here. And let's go with this. This is Russell 2000 futures RTY, and this is a 180 minute long. Entry is 1982.1. Stop is 1968.7. I forgot to do the target here. Hang on. Target in. Target is 2035.9. There's an RTY trade for the day. This is a neutral. Actually, hang on, this is 180, so let's go look on the 80. Yeah, it's a counter trend trade. We'll just call it what it is. This is a counter trend trade, but it's on an index, so we're gonna put that one in. That one just looks too many other things going well for it right there. And I don't see anywhere else really to be getting short on this one again either right now. Dow futures. Let's see, in a 45 minute, we don't have that same, we do. We have that same view on, 45 minutes instead of a 30, yeah. is right here. Now this one is reacting the exact same way as the ES, so you would have had this halfway in, but the second leg out is longer than the first one, so in reality you really should be getting into this more up in this area right here. But they're both reacting. I don't see any good areas coming back in. Right, RTY is still a little bit stronger, and the only reason you would do anything long there. So looking at oil, I think oil actually went above our monthly zone now. So we hit 112.50. Yep, so that poked right above, and on a monthly zone, so blew right through that. And let's see here on a weekly, do we have anything that's even remotely? We're about to hit a multi-decade high right now. Put that in. So we're going to go back to 2008 now. The last time price was up here, but we actually do have a pretty reasonable weekly zone right here too, though. So 123, 123.64. It's a pretty good weekly zone, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. Dailies, we were looking like we were going to set up some negative divergence on RSI, and we have now completely blown through that, so nothing else is setting up here. Any other areas to get long on? We had a really interesting one on the 5-minute yesterday. Let's see if I can pull that one up. 15-minute, yeah. So just bringing this one up to. This is not something that you would normally take, but you know, with what's going on, you know, in the news and everything, you know, oil is more likely to be going up than down right now. And so when you had this candle right here, this incredibly long wick that was pulled out here, you knew that this area had a lot of imbalance in it, and so you probably could have done something like this. I didn't quite catch it yesterday because of the other stuff that was going on for us, but just coming back and looking at that, really see that was a good indication of a lot of imbalance in this area here. So as we look back up through here, right, I would say this zone right here probably is still live. Pull down a little bit more into it, come down 3 ticks below it. That's a pretty good area right there. But that's really about it. I was on a 15. Take a look at a couple other ones. Nothing on a 60. And a 180, 45, 30. Nope. I'm just going to take a quick look at European futures just to see if that 30 or 45 lines up better with the, 45.60 lines up better with the dollar than the Euro USD did, and no, it's not. So gold did not continue to spike up from the weekend like really thought it was going to. We are just bigger context here, right? We did come up and break through this top of this daily zone here right into another previously used one, but barely used. So not surprising that one continued to work again. But again, it's still just the all of the conflict and everything, all of the hedging going on there, it really is just driving this up, and say almost irrespective of supply and demand, certainly irrespective of any lower time frame, lower quality supply and demand there. Just looking at other areas to try and get, continue to get long here, and nothing coming out that that's solid enough to use. Japanese yen. Okay, previously used one. So weekly, monthly, we're still on a downtrend here. I think on a daily we are as well. Yeah, we were still calling for short positions here. That continues to play out. So again, just looking for other areas to get short. Nothing there. Natural gas. Natural gas has been interesting because you would think it would be moving up more than it has, like kind of corresponding with oil, but it is not. So just again, putting us in context that we've already dealt with, right? We still have this zone here that worked out for us a few days ago, and look, just to show the kind of level of strength here, right? Price came down into it and still couldn't get back through it. Now is going back up, and you'll probably see from here this will then come go through this area up here as well. And there is nothing in its way right now other than just potentially, the actual supply of natural gas itself, depending on what happens there. So looking for other areas to continue to get long in this one, and this area here. So you have the gap right here created this base candle that's actually worked already, but you've got a zone right underneath it too. So coming down a little bit into it would be right here. I'm going to mark this one as used, but I think this is a pretty solid area right here. Let's do natural gas futures, NG. And this is a 30-minute long. $4.578. Stop is 4562. Right. Write that one down. So I do see, there's looking at one of my dashboards over here. Looks like the index is having a little bit of a bounce back up again, so that initial zone that we were looking at on the 30 and 45-minute areas may not hold for the full move down, which again would not be surprising since the upper zone really is the ones that are supposed to be working. Nikkei is looks like price came back up into that 45-minute short area again, and is now coming back down from there. I'm just looking at some of these very, very, very old zones that I have drawn in here from, this is back in November, right? So these are would all be counter trend trades right now, but if 1, 2, and 3 of them, let's see which ones of those work. So the last one is the only one that actually worked on there, but I mean, we weren't using them anyways because they're very counter trend trades. looking to continue to get short in Nikkei. So this 30-minute one here corresponds really well with the ES and Dow ones that we found. And this candle is about the same size, so this would be another one where I would just go up in here. A little bit more risk on this one, but I think you've got a really good overall setup here, particularly if this hits at the same time as the other ones do as well. So it's Nikkei 25 futures. Okay, this is a 30-minute short. 26,698. 26,825, and target is down at 26,192. Shut that one down. Okay. Moving on into our bonds, we'll hit the 10-year first. Quite a nice move up on these overall. And now we're starting to come back down again, not because it's hit anything that we had drawn on here, and we are still moving back up from this daily zone, right? Clearly price, has come up and hit our target here very well. Obviously we didn't have this one in this zone, right? Because it was a significantly strong counter trend trade, but just understanding why price moved there when it did, and it's not moving down from any daily zone, and we are still in a downtrend overall, so it wouldn't be looking to take this one long for any length of time here, and there really isn't any other areas to get long on it. So continuing to look for shorts, but there's no good areas to get short on either at this point. So moving over to US, this is a 30-year bond. We came pretty close to a 60-minute area. Again, nothing good to get back long on this again. I'll pull up a daily chart just to see if we hit anything useful. We did not even come close to anything there. 45, 30. Looks like bonds are probably going to roll over pretty soon. You started to get some very sporadic trading overnight last night. So again, just want to be cautious of that as well. All right, and nothing else there. So going on to some of our other futures here, AD. Still have these areas here, but I guess we did get a close above this line here, just barely. I am still too uncertain about these ones. I need a little bit more information. I want to see it. I want to see price break above that a little bit more before I'm willing to set those up as actual trades there. British pound. I think this was another one that we had set up as a short. Yeah. Yep. And we just can't get up there yet. We'll still leave it on, But when price comes back up here, we're not going to be in a downtrend anymore. We'll be in a neutral trend. So that may, depending on how price comes back up, that may impact what we do with that trade later on. Got an interesting setup here on the 120 minute. Picture perfect zone. Second leg out is much longer than the first. This is protected. We didn't take out the spike down here. We did take out the previous one over here though. I actually kind of like this one. Alright, so we've got British pound futures PP. 120 minute short entry is at 1.3424. Stop is 1.34443 and target 348. All right. Indexes are still coming back up a little bit again right now. So it'd be interesting to see if those other lower zones hold on the ES and Dow. Canadian dollar. This one is one that's really stuck going sideways right now. A couple of weeks almost straight going sideways. So you would have to look for something outside of that area to take advantage of. Now on a shorter time frame, this one right here actually looks pretty good. Another picture perfect zone. Second candle out is shorter. Let's put this one. So this is Canadian dollar futures CD. And this is a 15-minute entry. Is 0.78556. Up is 0.78512. Oh, did not. Got to the target here. Target is 0.78731. Okay. Copper. We did have rollover on copper the other day, and that has just shot up after that. Puts us continue on with our uptrend. So we want to keep getting long here, but yeah. Something I can really use our platinum is stalling out as well. Right, we're on day 5 of an inside day here. So no clear direction. I'm not even going to mess with platinum at this point. Next two, let me just go pull up some share bar charts. Take a look at oil and see if there's anything really good on oil and share bars that we could potentially use. And so it's 25,000 share bar right here. You've got a gap and you've got the look left, come halfway down in the zone. Actually, these candles are too. Let's see how close these candles are in size here. So one way to check it is draw a line, and then they are almost identical. So I'm going to pull this one all the way down here now. Okay. Check that 104, and actually did that line up with our other? Pretty close. It came very close to lining up with that 15-minute zone as well. So that's a good. It's a 105. This is a 104. So this area right here does, it's got some additional correlation that we can get some price movement back from it. Looking through as many of these as I can in just a minute or two here. Problem is a lot of these zones are so big. I mean, you're looking at a 3,000 share bar chart, and just to get movement in the last hour now, price has already gone through almost $3 in the last hour. That can be really tough to trade and manage your risk there. Even with the micros, that can be tough. So. Starting to get some really good negative divergence down at the 300 share bar area, and you're coming into like this area right here. Let me just, I think I can zoom in on this even small window. That probably isn't big enough for anyone to really see. So you get a combination, like if we continue to get that negative divergence on the 300 share bar chart, and it's still negative divergence if price drops, one more tick down below here. This one right here would be a good area to take. It's not going to be probably not going to be a big move out of it, but you get a nice small trade there. Keep watching this over here. Yeah, I think we get one more drop down in here potentially. Looking over here in the 300 share bar, you can see. Show this real quick before we close up here. All right, you got prices just starting to drop down here. RSI, looking down here on this chart down here, it's starting to come up. So you just got a good indication that you're going to get, again, just probably a corrective move, not a full change of trend yet. But a good, nice corrective move up out of here. Price just drops down one more time below this area right here. And again, the only reason where I'm looking at this is because there is an actual zone here, right? If you're just looking at this by itself, you don't really take a look at it. And you don't use that to actually trade from. So price is dropping back down again. And where do we have this one set up? Yep, 109. That's a 4. Just going over to my oops. Don't want a micro. J22. It's 109.57 is that entry point. Just bring that here and see what I'm doing, right? So that's 400. It's a 400 point risk per contract. So we go with 2. This is jumping all over the place like this, but it really is. Okay, 109.57. We'll put in 2 contracts here. All right, and you put that's 109.17 is your stop. Bring the one contract off at a 1-to-1. And put the other one up at our 5-to-1 trade here. 111.18. And there we go. That one's in. We're getting the move off of it right now, though. So if this RSI resets, then you wouldn't want to take this trade if you only if you get a quick pullback right now. But that'll be it for today. Again, remember, right, we're basically, especially on the indexes, we're on day 3 of this kind of flatlining. So just be very careful. Shorter term trades for now until we get a really good indication which way things are moving. If this was helpful for you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when we do these live sessions and for any additional content that we release. Have a happy and safe trading day, and we'll see you all again tomorrow.